Kendo Podcast episode 188. In this episode, I want to talk about Kaizen and Kendo.
Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from Kendo-Guide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit Kendo-Guide.com for more Kendo information and how to support Kendo-Guide.com.
Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 188. Now, I don't know if the episode number is correct or not because I decided to record this while I was driving to work, and now I'm still driving. And it's just something popped in my head, so I started to record this episode. So if the episode number is wrong, please forgive me. Okay, now what's Kaizen? Now Kaizen is now used in auto industry mainly, and that is because Toyota car company, right? Their what do you call it? Their management model is called Kaizen, but Kaizen is not really a special term. We Japanese use it all the time, or we have to Kaizen this, we have to Kaizen that. That simply means make it better or improve. So it's not a very special term, but because Toyota used this word for their factory management, and people learned about it, how they manage it and how they became the number one or the world famous popular car company. So people started studying what they do, and then this word Kaizen, I think this is my guess, popped out. So that's why this term Kaizen is treated as like a Toyota special term, but it is not. But anyway, and I read some books about Kaizen, Toyota's Kaizen. And yeah, it is about car, manufacturing, and of course, Toyota is a car company, right? So it's something it is all about how they manage their company and car manufacturing. But the more I read it, it's like, it's nothing different from Kendo. That's what I tend to connect a lot of things to Kendo, and then understand what they mean. Of course, it's not directly connected because it's not car company what we're doing. We are actually manufacturing ourselves, so it's not directly related, but still. We have to continuously improve ourselves, right? We talked about, in the last episode, I talked about how I see Kendo. We train ourselves through Kendo. We don't train Kendo, we train ourselves. That means we want to improve ourselves through using Kendo techniques, right? So some people do judo to improve themselves. Some people do calligraphy, shodo, or kado, flower arrangement. So it's about yourself. It's not about yourself. It's about improving yourself. So if you think like that, Kaizen is not really new to Kendo people. So, for example, you learn something and you have to, let's say you learned some techniques, right? Maybe kote suriyage men. Now, your sensei told you gotta do this. But because you and your sensei are not exactly the same person, right? Maybe your height is different. For example, my sensei is a lot shorter than I am. So whatever he does in his way that's for him. I learn something from him, and then I have to change a little bit. I have to tweak it so I can do it. Not my way, so I can do it properly for my height, for my size. So, like, my sensei thinks that the tsuka of shinai, the handle, shinai handle, tsuka of shinai, on my shinai is a bit too long, but I'm a lot taller than him. So sometimes, I have to adjust my, what he thinks it's right it's for him. And of course, it won't work. If I teach someone taller than me, they have to tweak it so they can do it. And if they are shorter than me, they have to tweak it too. And different length of shinai makes things different too. So they have to tweak it. And if you're a lot shorter than taller person, then your favorite techniques may be different too. So you really have to tweak things for yourself so you can do it, right? So it's constantly you gotta change something. I'm not saying change entire techniques. If you change entire techniques, not following the principle of the applications of the katana, and then you're inventing totally new things. So, something we have to stick to. There is, but so you really have to think and tweak it and practice it, and then you have to change. Oh, maybe I should be doing that a little bit. So if something doesn't work, you have to make it better. Now, if I think about it, the kanji for Kaizen is the first kanji kai. I think it means review it, and make it better. You review it and change something. Okay, so that kai means what that kai means, And zen means it's good. So review it, make it better. So that's Kaizen means. It's same as Kendo, right? So, same as everything. So basically, Kaizen is, so that's why I thought, why people, make a big deal out of the term Kaizen? We always do that. But because Toyotas make it more systematic for their, auto industry, I think that was the revolutionary change, and they applied this Kaizen concept. So that's why people make a big deal out of this term Kaizen, but we always do that. Continuous improvement. That's necessary, right? It's Kendo and for ourselves too. That's why in Kendo, nothing works perfectly on everyone. If you learn if you have favorite technique, maybe that works on this person, but it doesn't work on that person. And that's a loud car. I'm sorry, I'm just passing very loud car. I think they're right in front of me, maybe. Yeah, it's right in front of me. Let's pass that car so we can have quieter environment. All right. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so you should be able to face yourself. That's what we do in Kendo. It's not all about hitting. You always have to tweak. Oh, I should have, you got man strike. Oh, that man strike was good, but something, I can make it better. Always minor changes. It's not like a car. They always change. They don't stay the same. a little bit change, a little bit of that. So that is because we want to improve ourselves in our cars. I think it's customer satisfaction, and also we have to adjust a lot of things accordingly, right? So we have to adjust. I mean, time changes, and as time changes, society changes. So we have to adjust the way we think too, right? Accordingly, and a lot of things changes. A lot of things change around us rapidly, and then we constantly need to change. Otherwise, we just don't know what's going on around us. So, Kendo as well, we can learn. So Kendo, it's very frustrating because we constantly have to change, and then to be honest with you, it's very difficult to strike one person right. And believe or not, your sensei may be able to strike you a lot, but they are changing. They are changing here and there, even in one jigeko. Oh, maybe I should strike like this, maybe I should strike that, let's try this. Within 1 minute, within 10 seconds, they come up with something and change, tweak their strikes. So you gotta constantly change your kendo, the way you think, the way you see, and the way you strike. Otherwise, you gotta stay. You don't want to stay. You don't want to stay where you are. You want to go somewhere, right? If you go down a little bit, maybe you think you're going backwards, but if you're let's say I'm 6 down, so let's say you're 6 down, and you might have to go backwards and see what you learned when you are 4th down, and you can see things differently because you have been improved, right? So you see basics differently now. At the beginning, when you're a beginner, you see basics like this, like that. And now, maybe after a few years, after decades, you look at the basics and then you might think, I didn't realize that. You might have new findings in basics. So you might think it's going backwards, but it's not. You're seeing things at different level. So, it's good. It's okay to go back and relearn things. Don't be afraid. People think it's a waste of time, but it's not. Why do you think it's a waste of time when you want to improve yourself? It's necessary. Okay, if you have to go back and look at yourself, you have to stop and think about it. It's not wasting time. It's time you needed to move on. So that's a part of Kaizen. You sometimes have to think to move on. You have to sometimes go backwards to proceed, to go forward. So, it's Kaizen is constant changes. So I think it's same as Kendo. So if you think, you need to go back to the basics, don't think it's a waste of time. If you go back humbly, relearn the basics from the scratch, but remember you're at a different level, so you can learn the basics at a different level. That is already improving, an improvement. So, and then from there, you will realize something you never realized before. So that is the proof of achievement, and proof of improvement, and proof of continuous improvement. Thank you for listening, and if you are not yet a member of my Kendo for Life Club, at patreon.com. Please consider to become one, and you can download videos when you become a member of Kendo for Life Club. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo for Life.